What is going on, everyone? This is Judith here, and welcome to episode number 83 of Entrepreneur in the Spotlight. And tonight we're hanging out with the one and only Mindee Rosen. Mindee here is an author. She's a transformational life coach, speaker, and a health and wellness entrepreneur. And tonight she's hanging out with us here to drop some major value. Mindee, give us a little bit of an intro and give us a little sneak preview what it's like inside your world.
Oh my God. Thank you so much for bringing me on the show and for bringing me on into your world and for allowing me to feed into your audience. And first and foremost, I'd like to say that it's just exciting. Life is exciting. Inside my world, each and every day, I jump out of bed excited because I don't know who I'm going to connect with and who I'm going to lock arms with and who I have the possibility of, potentially changing their life.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's awesome. Now, at this point in time, what is your area of expertise?
That's an interesting question. I have two businesses, one in which I have a health and wellness business that I'm extremely passionate about, and we'll talk about the why. And I also am a transformational coach where I work with extraordinary men and women so that I can help them to ascend, help them to reach their goals, dreams, and desires, to become the one that their results require.
Yeah, become the one that your results require. That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, from there, we're going to get a little bit raw. We're going to get a bit personal. Don't pull any punches back. Tell us about your rock bottom moment.
Well, you know what? I'm going to share something that I've never shared with the world. My very close friends know this. And some of my coaching clients that I coach in that area of expertise know this. But my very rock bottom started when I was 12 years old. I was a very, very competitive gymnast, and I'll never forget those moments of walking into the gym. And the moment that you walked into that gym, Judith, is, you walked into that gym and they weighed you. And that's the very moments in my life that started a disorder where it led to a path where if I didn't stop it, I would have become anorexic. And, it led to a conversation that I had with my father that I needed to walk away from something that I very much loved. And, everything I truly believe leads back to something in our childhood. And my mother was very opposed to me walking away from something that my parents invested a lot of time in me. I reached a very competitive level. If I would have gone on to continue in what I had pursued from a very early age, I could have potentially competed in Olympian. You don't know what you don't know. But I knew at that very moment, and I didn't know anything about personal development at that point because I was only 12.
Yeah.
I just knew that it was toxic to walk into a gym and be weighed. And I loved the sport. Gymnastics was all I knew. And I spent 6 hours a day in that gym. And I, out of all the apparatus, I loved the floor. And I just knew if I would have continued that I was leading down a path that was toxic. And I had seen my cousin become anorexic. And I knew that if I would have continued, I would have potentially led down that same path. And, my father's no longer with me, but I'm very grateful that my father saw what I was sharing with him, and he took it in and he allowed me to step away from something I loved, but he saw the bigger picture. And as much as adversity as it caused in my household, he allowed me to step away and go into high school, which is what I really wanted. I wanted to go into high school and just be a normal teenager. I wanted to go into high school and, you know, just really develop, not that I didn't have friends, but when you're spending 6 hours in a gym a day and you are working towards a sport and you're competing, you know, you're you know, in that type of competitive environment, you don't have that much time, you know, when you're working towards academics and you're spending that much time in the gym, you don't have that much time to put into friendship. So I wanted to go into high school, just be a normal teenager. I just wanted to be a normal girl. And my father allowed me that opportunity to do that. And what had happened was, you know, I had 4 years of just, you know, that I went into high school, and anything that led up to that point, I was able to really just let go. Went into high school and really created this amazing relationships with the girls that, you know, I wanted to create these friendships with. I became a cheerleader. I, you know, just had a lot of fun. And that's what I remember from high school.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. It's great that you had that support from your dad. Hey, that way it pretty much help you prevent the, you know, from going down the slippery slope of that journey, right? So that's great.
Absolutely. But you know what? That disorder of having an eating disorder didn't go away. When I went to college, you know, it came back. I went to college, and it's something I think that when you have an eating disorder, and I understand that better as a life coach now, is that it's something that manifests subconsciously. And, you know, I traded one addiction for another, and I went to college, and very, very few people knew about it. And the friends that I had, I became a part of a sorority, which was awesome. I actually, you know, became very involved with my sorority. And the girls that did, or that were aware that I did have an eating disorder, wouldn't speak up about it. But I became bulimic in college. And, you know, it was just something that I went through and got through, because I'm here now. And, you know, I went through it, and, you know, now those girls, like, we talk about it now, but, you know, through those years, they would never speak up, because I understand it now, you know, from becoming an entrepreneur, because it's not something that's ever discussed in college. You're not taught personal development. You know, you're not exposed to these great people like, you know, Jim Rohn, and you're not Napoleon Hill, and these people that speak into you. And the people that have mentored me from afar. So at that point, I didn't know about that still. But I got through it. And then when I graduated college, I got a job with an event marketing company. And, you know, what really was the transition is that through running events, I traded another addiction because I launched Stackwells for at major marathons across the country. And then I became addicted to just health and wellness and fitness and getting a personal trainer. So all through my life, I've traded one addiction for another. And, you know, it's fascinating to me now, being engrossed as an entrepreneur, understanding the process and understanding personal development.
That's
So,
awesome. Yeah.
you asked me what was my rock bottom, and now I really understand that was really my rock bottom.
Yeah.
And, like I said, this is the first time I'm ever sharing this. But by sharing this is me being vulnerable. And now from sharing it, I truly am going to be able to go back and help so many other men and women suffer from this disease.
Yeah.
But really, so many women are afflicted by this.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
For a long time, I have been, disease free. But what I really realized when I locked arms with my company is that subconsciously, to fast forward, is that my body never realized that I was still starving myself.
Mm.
Even though I was eating organic and very into exercise and totally healthy and never doing the things that I've done all my life. So it's just this amazing realization and this awesome awareness of how much I've grown and how much I can help other people.
Mm. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. What has been your biggest aha moment so far?
Oh my God, there have been so many. I would say since I've, stepped away from corporate America, stepped away from being, a, a specialty rep in medicine, is mentorship is your key to becoming and growing in this industry. That if you really want to grow and you really want to extend, that you've got to, and I'll preface this by saying that, if you can't afford mentorship, there's so many possibilities available to you. There's books available to you. You can find mentors that are, available to you on Audible, that you can buy in Barnes and Noble. But you've got to look and find somebody that's got the results that you want, and you've got to go and emulate what they've done to achieve the results that you want to achieve.
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't have to be like you'll have like a coach that you meet up with every so often, whatever your schedule is, right? Like you said, right? It could be as simple as tuning into the free resources, right? Like listening to podcasts or audiobooks, or something as simple as logging in on YouTube and listening to some personal development and some growth stuff from YouTube. It's really that simple, and then working your way up from there. After that, you start buying $10 books or $30 books until you can slowly afford that real actual, you grow into it.
Absolutely. And, that's what I so recommend to people is that, like what you said, like if you can't afford to get a coach right now, the most important thing is that you tap into resources, because your ascent, your growth is really tied to what you tap into as far as what you're learning, how you're growing each and every day, what you're listening to, and really who you're surrounding yourself around. And it could be books, it could be people from afar.
Yeah, absolutely. That's something that everyone is so quick to dismiss, like the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, that people seem to really ignore, right? The fact that this success is contagious, right? The energy is very contagious. You surround yourself with them, they will drag you up with them, whether you like it or not.
And it's so true. Before I ever had a personal mentor, I found it in books. When I made the transition from corporate America to entrepreneurship, I didn't have a mentor, but I found it for the first 6 months in these books. I found it in Napoleon Hill. The first book I ever read was Think and Grow Rich.
Mm.
And I was hooked.
Yeah.
Oh my God, why didn't they teach this to me in college?
Right. Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I always wonder about that. I was like, why are we just learning about these things? Now I have to unlearn the first, I don't know, 25 years of my life and start learning these things because that just doesn't sit right with me anymore.
I've learned so much more, and this is a shunda. Like, I mean, I've learned so much more since becoming an entrepreneur
Yeah.
in obtaining degrees from college.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah.
And, you know, it really makes me think about, you know, I have a junior now. I have a 16-year-old that's getting ready to go to college. Like,
Mm.
it really makes me sit here and think, you know, if it was up to me, I wouldn't send him to college.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
I live in a household with a husband that is adamant he's going to college.
Mm.
So he will
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
But I truly believe like there's a wealth of knowledge
Mm. Yeah.
that's available.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. So was there what held you back from going all in when you first got started?
You know what? If I really reflect and think what held me back, it was the people that were closest to me in the parameters of where I lived. It
Mm.
wasn't people that were afar.
Yeah.
You know, I was thrown in to what I didn't know. I had always worked
Mm.
and I loved it. I was thrown into an arena of what I didn't know, meaning, you know, and I love my children. I've got two amazing boys. One's 14 and one's 16. And I honor, you know, being a mom. They're my why. They're the reason why I jump out of bed every day. But when I made the transition from stepping away from what I knew into the unknown, I had to foster what I didn't know.
Mm.
And it was very precarious to me because um, a lot of what I didn't know was a different world.
Mm.
And a lot of these women didn't work and they were much different than I, different mindset.
Mm.
And I, that is what held me back in the beginning,
Mm.
is that I perceived what are they going to think?
Mm. Yeah.
And, you know, my children are in their schools. Like if I start to go live on Facebook, and that's before Facebook Live was ever available, if I start to put up a video, what are they going to think? And, you know, now I think of that, like, why did I let that hold me back?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I should have done it sooner.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, that's always a big thing. Hey, I should have done it sooner. Like I always mention, you know, I first had the idea to start the podcast all the way back in 2012, but I never really took action all the way until 2017 because I was like, who the heck am I, right? To ask these people to come hang out with me, come chat with me. They're just gonna dismiss me, right? All that stuff. And then I'm like, well, I start this and then I stop. What are they gonna think, right? Like that kind of stuff too. So, but like you said, right, like I always have that I should have done this sooner, because could you imagine if I started all the way back in 2012, where would the show be now? It won't be in episode 83. It'd probably be in 500 episodes something already.
Exactly. And now I look back and I'm like, I'll never forget the day I went live for the first time, like Christmas Eve, and then there was New Year's, and then my son, you know, they have a bowling program, you know, over the winter, and my youngest son was part of it. And I walked in, I remember every mom like looked at me like I had, you know, three heads. And I'm like, why are you guys all looking at me like that? Like I went live on Facebook.
Mhm.
So what? Who
Yeah,
cares?
yeah,
This is my passion. This is my purpose. Like, I am making so much more of a difference now than what I ever did when I was in medical sales.
mm, yeah, yeah,
And now I look back and I can laugh at that day. But I remember walking in there and being so vulnerable. And I remember feeling like so inferior, like when I walked in and none of them would talk to me. And I'm like, what did I do wrong? But now I can laugh about it.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. You lift yourself up at at such a so much higher level once you just stop thinking about what they would think, because in reality that really has nothing to do with you. Whatever they say, that's their own opinion. It has absolutely nothing to do with you. So yeah, that's amazing. Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. So what has been the best advice you've ever received?
That life isn't about happily achieving. It's it's not achieving to be happy.
Mm.
And then to take it a step further, it's really life is about fulfillment.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, life is about fulfillment. Yeah. So, do you have like a personal habit that's conducive to your success?
Absolutely. It's about an hour of power every single day. And not everybody can do that. But whether it's people that come into my health and wellness business, whether it's people that coach with me,
Mm,
is that I call it my hour of power. And that's meditation. That is reading 10 pages of a book. It is about gratitude, which I strongly believe is so powerful because you can't be grateful and in fear at the
mm,
same time.
yeah.
So I'm a huge believer in gratitude. So it's those three things. And it's about doing, uh, some type of exercise.
Yeah.
And it's really about being with you. That's your hour. And some people can't do an hour. Some people could do a half an hour. Some people can't even do a half an hour. Maybe you need to do 15 minutes. But you need to take that time. You
Mm,
need to take that time for self-love. You need to take that time to be with you because that's going to set you up
mm,
for your perfect day. And I'm telling you, when you do it, that is what makes you indestructible.
mm,
That's what
yeah.
makes you unstoppable. And if for some reason I can't do it, my day just doesn't go as well as when I do it.
Mm, yeah. Yeah. You'd be surprised by how much that affects the rest of the day, right? Like even something as simple as a 20-minute workout, right? Like if you skip that, it pretty much puts everything it offsets everything, right? Suddenly everything is out of whack. And now looking back in hindsight, just before we hopped on here, we discussed about how I've been feeling a bit low over the last couple of days. But now thinking about it, I haven't really done my morning routine for almost a week now because the gym is under renovation. So I haven't done a huge chunk of my morning routine. And yeah, I think that's yeah.
It throws you off.
Yeah, it does. It really does. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. So, what do you have on the go these days? What's something you're super excited about?
You know, I am just super excited about really everything that I am just doing in life. Like I'm super excited about working with people in my health and wellness
Mm,
business, helping people to find the best version of themselves,
mm,
helping people, we're up and coming in it's spring now, helping people to, get into the best shape that they can get in,
mm,
um, help people to become the best version of themselves. It's just been incredible, the transformations that I've seen each and every day. You know, what brings me joy is the testimonials that I get sent over every day. And that's what really inspires me to each and every day to reach out to other people and to help people to just really, you know, help them find their better, because the product that I share, it's not just about fat loss or weight loss. There's so many other things that it does. It does, you know, it helps with better sleep, mental clarity, focus, pain, inflammation, and then on the other side, just coaching. You know, if you're stuck in a bad place or you just want to, you know, ascend in your business or life, that's what I do. And it just is, you know, such an amazing thing to, you know, help people to find clarity and become, like I said before, to help them become the one that their results require.
Yes, be the one your results require. That's amazing. Now, where could we find out more about what you, about these ones that you just discussed with us? Like where
The
could
best place to reach out with me right now, because my website is being redone as we speak, is to reach out with me, reach out to me on Facebook.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right. So thank you so much for hopping out and give us a major value. Before we hop out though, real quick, give us a parting piece of guidance. What's that one message you want to leave with us here today?
If you're in a place right now where you feel like you're just stuck, or you feel discouraged, or you feel like you haven't achieved what you want to achieve yet, don't ever give up. Just keep on going. Keep on plugging away, because you're 2 millimeters away from what you want to achieve. And you have to know that, you know, your biggest breakthrough is right there. So don't give up before you hit that milestone, because you're right there.
Yeah, this reminds me of that meme going around, right? Like that two guys mining, and then one of them stopped just before he hit that diamond that's right behind that. Yeah, this reminds me of that. And the thing is, that's always how it is. You know, we give up just right before we hit the breakthrough, because believe it or not, before it goes up, before your journey goes up, it goes way down first before it climbs back up. And that's where everyone loses their way, is once they're at that very bottom. Could you imagine if Mindee did not get back up from her rock bottom moment, if I did not get back up from my own moment, right? Like none of this will be here today. None of what Mindee has built for herself, none of her legacy will be up here, will be out there right now. So yeah, it's really,
and it's so true. Like, I just went through a struggle. I went through a health struggle, you know, recently. And if I would have quit when I was going through that and just said, I'm going to throw it all away, what would I have? But I got back up. And I know that what I went through, it didn't happen. It happened for me, not to me. It happened so that I could, you know, help more people, so that I could know that everything I went through, you know, and I was pretty sick, that everything I went through so that I could tap in and help more people.
Yeah.
You know, and it was a challenging 3 months, but I know that everything that I went through was because I need to reach out to more people. I need to help more people that potentially went through an eating disorder, that potentially, you know, just want to get in the best shape ever, that potentially want to ascend in their businesses. That's my mission. That is the reason why, after everything I went through from December until now, that's why I'm here.
Yeah.
So don't give up. Just keep fighting.
Yeah, that's amazing.
You're amazing, girl. Thank you for having me on your show.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you for hopping out and hanging out with us and dropping some major value here today. And I really do appreciate that. And guys, thank you so much for sharing this experience with me. Again, as always, keep the hearts, the likes, the shares, the comments coming in. If you have any questions for Mindee or myself, drop them in the comments and we will address them as we see them. If you're watching from Facebook, make sure to turn on your notifications. That way you never miss out every time Entrepreneur Spotlight is on. And if you're watching from YouTube, make sure to hit subscribe. If you're listening from the podcast, hit subscribe as well and drop us some reviews, drop us some comments. Let us know what your biggest takeaway is. All right. So guys, other than that, you guys have an awesome day. Go out there, do something awesome. Start your journey towards that awesomeness, right? So guys, we'll see you on the next episode of Entrepreneur in Spotlight. Bye guys. Later.
Good night. Bye-bye.